What's going on, everybody? Well, I kind of taken a little break, kind of got behind on editing and stuff like that, but I did get some things done. Finally got up and got a couple IBC totes. So the International Bulk container, they're 200 and 275. Got two of them. Check it out. So today I'm going to be taking these kind of apart. You can take these two crossbars off the top of these and pull the skin out, and then I like to scuff them up real good with a wire wheel and my sander, get it nice and textured, and then I can paint them black. Bought some really good outdoor paint, and then I also got some rattle can to paint camouflage. I want to camouflage them over the black. But painting them is to keep the algae from growing in. These are going to be my water tanks. I've got the manifolds and everything, the pieces I need to make a manifold off of this and connect both of these. That'll eventually go to my 12-volt pump. That will pump water to my shower and to my kitchen. So yeah, but today I want to get these painted. My little trailer did amazing. I'm pretty stoked. There's no way I would ever haul these full, so I already can see the comments. You haul that full with your truck? Nope. My truck's got a 4-cylinder and it was hard enough with just this. The real steep hills, I was hitting third gear a couple times, so, but beautiful day here in northern Arizona. And yeah, gonna try to get that stuff painted today, so be doing a little bit of a time lapse on that. And yeah, yesterday also I've been needing a second solar panel, and I have a second solar panel. So, and I had bought this adapter, so it's a splitter. So now I have this one, and I have that one up there. And that one up there I'll just take off, and it actually is gonna be staying here. Long term, when I leave, these suitcase style ones like this right here and at the top up there, these are 200-watt panels. So I'm taking this one with me, and that is what I'll use when I park for the night or the evening or whatever, and I'm going to be camping. I will just plug it in. It'll have a little extension that'll run underneath here, and then I'll just lay the panel on my hood. And then I'll have 300 watts going into my 100 amp hour, which is perfect because you never get the full 300 out of it. So, but it's already doing a lot better. It really likes that second panel. It's reading 13.6 now. That's good. So I'll be using this inverter today. I'm gonna back my truck up over here, and so I can run my grinder and my sander. So yeah, stay tuned. Well, what's up, everybody? So I got my little setup here now, and we're gonna be painting these totes. So I'm gonna be taking the skins out of these. I found something pretty interesting. So these Torx bit, they're like a 6-star, I think they're a Torx bit. I couldn't find mine. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I didn't want to drive all the way to town. So I grabbed my Allen wrenches. Does anybody else know this? That a 3/16 Allen wrench fits those pretty good. Good enough to get them loose. Watch. Which one is it? So 3/16 Allen wrench. So I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, how am I gonna get these to work? And then I was like that one guy, what now, boy? Yeah, there we go. Got that one loose. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna work just fine. So you take these two top crossbars out, and then the skin just comes out of the cage. But now I don't have to go anywhere. And maybe this is like common knowledge, I have no idea, but anyways, we're painting these totes today to stop algae growth from getting inside of them, and I want to camouflage them because it's kind of a lighter color black, attracts a lot of heat, even though I'm going to put these in the shade. And here I can show you kind of where I'm going to put these. This awning's nice. Got a nice shady area. It's awesome. So the goal, there's a couple things that have to happen first, but getting these painted is the first step in getting water in them and getting them in their little home. So first, to get everything the way I want it set up, I have to get the cabin itself sitting better. And I have a lot of pier blocks, but I'm gonna be getting some flagstone that's really thick. And what I wanna do is the very back of this cabin is sitting on the ground basically. So I wanna put it on a railroad tie and then level it all the way out to the front and use flagstone and these pier blocks to level it. And it'll sit a little higher. It will probably be about 5 inches taller than it currently is in the front, but I don't really mind. We're gonna get it sitting up. I'm gonna get some gravel up here. I met a guy that lives south of 40, and he is pretty convinced he can get at least 5 yards at a time of gravel up here. So I'm gonna contact him soon, and that's gonna help that project out, and I'll be making a video on that as well. The totes. So the IBC totes, you can see right here, this little area right here. It gets the early morning sun right here. So what I wanna do, kind of trim these trees up a little bit. This is where my outdoor shower house is gonna go. And then I want the 2 tanks to sit right over here. So I will end up cleaning up that brush pile, putting down a couple pallets to set the tanks on, get them level. And then those, so that way the water guy, John, he can come in, just drive right in my driveway here. He even has a place he can turn around, like right there, or right down where my little setup's at right now. So, or he can kind of pull forward back in, so then he can just drive right out. But his hoses go right over to here, fill my tanks. I'll have, these are rated at 275, but even at 250, so I'll have 500 gallons of storage right now, which living out of 30 gallons worth of totes and having to get water every 5 days has been kind of a pain in the butt. So it'll be really nice. And to be able to take a longer shower. You know, I got to be real conservative with my water with the 30 gallons. So ultimately that's the goal, is to get these painted hopefully today and get them kind of set up. And then I've got most of the fittings. I'll have to go to town and get a couple more fittings here in a few days. I got to go down to Prescott and get lumber and stuff, my little trailer. So that's going to be kind of a fun little day. Might go and get some ramen. Oh, there's this really good ramen place in town. I miss just being able to drive like 15-20 minutes from my house and go get awesome ramen in Oregon. I used to eat it at least once, twice a week. So anyways, let's get to work.
forgot how messy of a process this is. You do get a little bit of dust from it, but this little wire wheel, this is what you want to use. It works the best that I've kind of found. But yeah, got 2 of them to do today. We got the camera set up doing a time lapse. So, and then I don't even know if I'll end up using the sander at all. It might just be the grinder today. So we'll see what the finish is like. The sanders just kind of smooth it out so the paint doesn't look weird from the swirl marks, but the inverter's working really, really well. No problems, doesn't even bog it down. So it's nice. My skill saw bogs it down a little bit, but this extra solar panel I got on here right now, man, it's doing really good. So, all right, I'm gonna get to work. Just want to get it on really good and thick, especially in the corners. The hardest part is when you put the skin back in the cage. You're always going to get a couple little scratches. You can touch those up later by hand, which is this is the paint I got. Not cheap, black. This is what it ends up coating like. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna do 2 coats. I always do the bottoms first and I kind of hand paint kind of inside here. And yeah, painting totes, man. Not super exciting, but gotta get done so I can get these in their spot and get them filled by May. Just because I want it all done so I'm taking off the first part of May. I gotta be in Santa Cruz. May 9th, going to the Masters Cup. Volunteering again like I did in 2023. If you haven't seen that footage, look up the California trip, and I was spotter on hole 2. If you watch the Masters Cup coverage, you can see me in my black sweater with my red and green flags, signaling the next people when it's safe to go. And yeah, it was a good experience. And so wanted to do it last year, but with selling the house and all of that and getting out here and getting everything set up, I had to take last year off. So but I can't wait to see all the people I've met the last time I was there and play some disc golf, man. You can vent these, squeeze the sides in a little bit, and then put the lid back on and it'll stay kind of squished in on the sides, and it makes it a little easier to get it back into the cage without scratching it, because all the sides will be kind of squeezed in. A couple painted totes. Just gotta flip them over and do the top now. Wow, it's been a good day. Got them all painted except for that really big run in that one, but you won't even see it. It's all gonna get covered up. But yeah, just gotta let this kind of dry for a little bit here, and then I'll flip them over and do the top. So hey, thanks everybody again for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, everybody. And yeah, will be more to follow, and I can't wait to get out there in my truck and get on the road and get back to Oregon, see all my friends and family. Miss you guys. All right. So thanks again. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, they look really nice. Now you can really kind of see the texture that it gives it. It really has something to hold on to. The paint really stays on there good, and it doesn't scratch easy. So it's nice and durable. So it's getting nice and cured right now. So I'll get them back in their cages here today. Then I'll get them moved over where I want them to be. So the wood chips are working out nice. We'll see what happens when it monsoons. I think they're just gonna kind of float to the edge wherever the water runs. I gotta look it up again. I can't remember the name of it. But these started coming up after the snow came, and they're really pretty. And I found out they're edible. They're a tuber. They've got a big old tuber that goes way down. So it's kind of interesting, but they started popping up in certain places, and yeah. So anyways, my kitchen's where this window's at. So eventually I'm gonna have PEX. I'm gonna trench under the ground. Once my cabin is lifted up on its pier blocks and stuff, then my water filter that'll be in a couple of these totes will be linked together underneath my cabin. And then those will trench underground to the source, which there's this sunny spot right here in the morning. You can kind of see it like this. This is going to be my outdoor shower. I'm going to remove a couple branches here off of this tree, just like meet. And then make a space here. Wanted to have the water close to here because eventually I'm going to trench and run lines to my kitchen.
And then there'll be other lines that are trenched and run back to a water tank that is going to go on the other side of my shower house over here. And I want to try to do trees up here. So, fruit trees, pears, apples, maybe even peaches. This little area here, I want to dig a bunch of holes and do a bunch of really good soil in it and do some drip lines, and then that wastewater tank that'll go over here will then irrigate this area here. And then I'll probably do an electric fence around it just to keep the big animals out, the javelina, stuff like that. And then I'll build up a little bit. Maybe even I found some old wine barrels that I think I cut the bottom out of, dig down, wine barrel. So then I can put the trees in those, irrigate it, have like a cage so that when they're young, animals and the deer, because deer will come down, they'll jump right over an electric fence. They don't give two craps. So, but, boom. And FYI, lavender no like it here. Rosemary does okay. So, rosemary's pretty hardy, so. I have water storage. Yeah, really excited. I know I say it a lot, but thanks again everybody for liking and subscribing, and thanks for following, and thanks for supporting what I'm doing. And if you're in Oregon, I'll hopefully see you in Oregon in June. So talk to you all later.